Hi everyone, I'm David, and this is Wine Forecaster. Last year I made a promise to our viewers that today I am going to keep. Finally, we are going to taste a grappa. Now, for those of you who do not know what a grappa is, technically grappa is a brandy, but historically it really is a wine. Back in the Middle Ages, and this is primarily in the Italian region, but back in the Middle Ages when the winemaker would make wine, the very best would go to the government, to the emperor, to the king. The next wine would go to the general public for sale, and then the skins were discarded. And so the poor peasants who couldn't afford to buy wine would grab the skins, take them home, and squeeze them, trying to get some juice out of it to make whatever kind of wine that they could make. And unfortunately, when you pressed those skins that hard, you would invariably crush the seeds within it, and you end up with a very bitter grape juice. But they learned that if you distilled the product, afterwards you would end up with a drinkable brandy that is called grappa. And this stuff is high powered. This bottle here happens to be 90 proof. That's 45% alcohol. So if you haven't tried grappa, it's something that, at least once in your life you have to try. You may find that you like it, or you may find that you don't like it, but it's something that you just have to try at least once. This wine was not made in Italy. This grappa was made actually by Finger Lakes Distillery on the east side of Seneca Lake, and they made a Riesling grappa, fitting for the Finger Lakes. So I'm going to open up the bottle, pour a little bit in the glass, and let's test it out and see what it's like. Alright, I've poured a small amount of grappa in my glass here. And grappa is usually, it can be served in many different types of glasses, depending on your preference. Most people will drink them out of tulip glasses, although I've seen large bulbous glasses as well. So, especially for some of the older grappas that need to aerate. It comes with a cork stopper similar to what you would see with a port wine. And so understand that grappa is not supposed to be drunk all at once. I mean, this bottle should last quite a while. A typical nosing of grappa usually reveals aromas of kerosene, and this one here in particular, I do get that gasoline smell. However, they used a full grape crush, so it wasn't just leftover skins, it was the complete grape that was crushed along with the seeds. And so I think that makes it a little bit fuller, a little bit more rounded, and it doesn't make it quite as potent smelling as an Italian style grappa. Your first taste should just be a sip, and let it coat your entire mouth with an easy swallow, and then sip it again. So this grappa is very smooth. There's a little bit of a bite around the tongue and in the back of your mouth, but it is by no means overpowering at all. It's a little sweet. The Riesling grape is evident there. There's a little bit of crispness that you would get with the Riesling, and it's actually very, very nice. I think this would be a very good introductory grappa to try for someone who has never tried grappa before. And if you have tried grappa and you are endeared to it, why not try one from the Finger Lakes, especially a Riesling grappa. So Finger Lakes Distillery, they make a whole gamut of different whiskeys, and quite an interesting place to visit. You can actually see the copper still the still's right through the window, and that's, if you haven't seen that before, that's worth the trip just to see that. But interesting, different wine, and like I said, it's something that you really owe it to yourself to try at least once to see if you like it. If you don't, you'll notice that Leah is not here today, and that's because she doesn't like grappa. So, although I am going to encourage her to try this one because I think it's a little bit lower on the potency scale. So anyway, it's Finger Lakes Distillery's Riesling Grappa. I'm David from Wine Forecaster. We'll see you on the next video.
It's not bad.